Hey guys, so I wanted to, oops, I just knocked something over. So I wanted to make this stream because I wanted to bring awareness. If anybody of you guys have like skin issues, skin irritation, or if you know someone who has this kind of thing, it can really mess up your mind. So, really quick thing, if you guys have been following my streams for a while, I've been very, I've told you guys about my skin issues. So I have these eczema patches on my arm, my back, my neck, and then my lower left leg. And my arm, because I don't wear any long sleeve clothing very much, or I wear 100% cotton, it's basically, I'd say 95% healed. You cannot tell that I have a skin issue at all if you look at my arm. My back is pretty good. I would say you can't really tell because I'm always wearing a cotton shirt. My neck, same thing. As long as I wear cotton or if I wear silk, I'm okay. But my leg is a different story because I wear leggings. So a legging material, if you are not familiar with leggings, these are the let's see, leggings are basically like yoga pants. I wear them a lot. So leggings are made out of percentage of spandex, lycra, and the problem with wearing leggings is that the material traps in heat. So see this? Many people with eczema find that wool and synthetic materials such as polyester and nylon cause overheating, sweating, irritation, which sets off the itch. And then they also mention rough seams and fibers. So I've looked through the closet. I managed to find a few cotton shirts. The problem is that like if the seams, even if the seams are like a little bit rough or they're just like a little bit too, if they're not perfectly smooth, they cause my neck to itch and then they cause skin irritation and it absolutely sucks. So what happened today? Today I went to sleep. I woke up several times throughout the night because my leg was itching and I was thinking like, oh, this is so weird. And I noticed I was scratching myself and then I decided, hey, let me figure out what is going on with the sheets. And I found out that our sheet set that we have is made out of polyester. So let me pull this up really quick. So we have this Amazon basic sheet set and I really like it. The only downside is that because it's polyester, it traps in the heat. So I think it's partially because it's turning into summertime. It's irritating my skin. So unless I change material, my skin is not going to heal, as evidenced with my arm, my back, my neck. If you see me, like if you saw me on the street and you saw my arm, you wouldn't even think I have a skin issue. But I've been relegated to sticking with 100% cotton or silk. I have more cotton pieces than I have silk pieces for sure. And it's really tough because there's so many pieces inside of the closet that prior to, what was it, like around November 2020, I really liked. And I feel like I'm losing hope on wearing those kind of clothing because I can't even, it seems like even our freaking sheets that we've had since forever is starting to cause issues on my skin. And it really sucks. It really sucks. I know some people will listen to the stream and they'll probably say, Erica, what's the big deal? Just get new clothes, just get new sheets. But there are certain things that if you find like a piece of clothing that you really like, you realize like, although it makes you feel great, the bottom line is that if you wear it too long or yeah, if you wear it too long, you can end up getting a rash. And having that rash, breaking out a rash, doesn't make that piece of clothing feel so pretty anymore. And same with my leggings. Like I really like my leggings that I have. I have a whole bunch of leggings. Most of them are actually Lularoe leggings. I would not recommend buying them. I would not recommend buying them new. So let me show you guys Lularoe leggings. I know people be like, really, Erica? No, I really like my Lularoe leggings. They were my they've been my little tried and trues over here. See, so I like them because they're these kind of like wacky looking prints, and I feel like, I could wear them forever, and I intended to wear them for a really, really, really long time, but it's coming to a point where I have to say, like, okay, what's more worth it, Erica? Your leg getting better, or your leggings? And yeah, it's like, okay, so if I don't wear leggings, and most leggings, as I've showed you guys before, it's made out of a mixture of spandex. So you can buy eczema safe leggings. However, they do cost like a pretty penny. You're looking at like $70 leggings and $65 leggings, just to be able to wear leggings. And yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I didn't even realize until I started putting on my old clothes again that it just it really messes with my head. Um, it's like you have this desire to look better, but when you find out you're always wearing the same kind of flannel shirts, cotton shirts, and it's not because you don't want to do better. It's because that's the only thing that your skin doesn't seem to react to, or the cotton legging thing, like that kind of thing. I was like, I don't want to lose my leggings, but um, it just takes a toll on your psyche. And yeah, so I have to buy a lot of new clothing or look for other clothing. And this is not something that I wanted to do. I wanted to keep my closets. I wanted to keep the clothes that I had and just think, it's like even the shirt that I really liked. If you guys are familiar with that shirt, there's a black shirt that I have in the closet. It's a Madewell top. I don't know what it is, but lately it's like if I wear that shirt, I start itching. And I looked at the tag and I found out it wasn't pure cotton. It just screwed in my head because I thought, like, man, I really, really, really like this shirt. And now, unless I wear 100% cotton undershirt on it, I can't just wear the shirt by itself. So, I could wear it like a flannel. So, for instance, right, I could wear like a t-shirt underneath it and wear the shirt open underneath it. But it sucks. It sucks that I have to kind of like change my clothing style because of it. So I was looking online and I was looking up cotton and I found out that Supima cotton, let me show you this, is considered to be, the superior cotton. It's 1%. It represents 1% of the cotton in the world, and it's supposed to be strength, softness, and color retention. Uniqlo sells a whole bunch of them. And if any of you guys have like skin issues and you find yourself wearing like dowdy looking t-shirts or dowdy looking flannel, I would suggest, and instead of like going to those specialty eczema websites, like try looking to Uniqlo. I'm going to check out Uniqlo when I feel like it or relatively soon, because their shirts have really good structure to it. And yeah, I don't want to be itching and I don't want to be scratching. And like my quality of life is so much better. But just wearing like the same kind of clothes over and over, and some of you guys have noticed this in my streams. It's like, wow, it's kind of limited. It's not because I don't have any other clothes. It's really because the other clothes give me a rash, and it becomes like a rock and a hard place. What would you rather have? Would you rather have the pretty clothes, or would you rather have the itchiness or deal with the itchiness? And I don't want to let go a lot of my closet. I really don't want to do that. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is wearing undershirts, or wearing, like, if I have a jacket, for instance, I'll wear like a cotton long sleeve underneath that jacket, and then get rid of a lot of the polyester clothes that I have. And there's some really cute polyester tops, so it sucks. But yeah, this is the kind of direction I feel like my life is heading to. And I wish I could say, like, I can just go into a store and pick out whatever clothes I want and just try on things without any care in the world. But I can't do that anymore. And if you know anybody who is dealing with skin issues like eczema, and they seem to wear like kind of like not so great looking clothes, that could be the reason why. That could very well be the reason why. It might not be because like they don't care about themselves or they don't want to look better or dress in nicer clothing. It just could be because they find that they have to prioritize their mental health over and their physical health over their clothes. And yeah, but I want to find a good balance. I don't want to just wake up in the morning and be like, oh my goodness, I'm wearing a freaking t-shirt again. And I know people would say, what's the big deal about wearing a t-shirt? Like, if you wear just like a regular kind of t-shirt, and I've said this before, if you wear like a certain kind of clothing that doesn't make you feel on point, after a while you look at yourself and you're thinking like, man, I just feel so crummy, and I don't want to live that kind of life where it's like I wake up and I see what I'm wearing and I think like, oh, I look so crappy, or I wake up and I'm itching, and yeah, so I'm gonna have to buy new T-shirts, new pants, new sheet sets as well. I'm probably gonna have to buy like 100% cotton, just 100% cotton as much as I can, and the other alternative besides that, is linen or it is silk. And I find that the prettier clothes is silk clothing. And but the only problem with silk clothing, here I'll show you guys in case you guys are, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the price of silk clothing overall. But let's see, like silk dresses. Come on. Silk dresses can be kind of pricey. See, so all this stuff, and then I also have to think about care for it too. So either washing it on delicate or hand washing it for sure. But this is not a direction that I really wanted to take my clothing. So yeah. Overall, I will talk to you guys later. I'm gonna look at chat really quickly, and I know some people will probably think this is a really boring stream, but again, I know that there are more people with skin issues out there than just me. And I hope that if you guys are having skin issues, or if you're having some sort of rash, or look at your materials, look at your materials and see if it's like polyester or rayon or some sort of synthetic. And if you are finding yourself scratch in the middle of the night, look at your sheets. I didn't really focus on the sheets until today because I woke up several times and I was just scratching. And yeah, 100% polyester sheets on my bare leg, not really the best material to put on there. So the sheet sets, we have about 4 polyester sheet sets. I'm thinking about just like keeping the other stuff. I think, yeah, I don't have any problems with like the back of my head or pillowcase like that. But in terms of the big sheet, the flat sheet, that one I should probably switch over to 100% cotton. I kind of want to keep the fitted sheet as a polyester because it's just beneath me, so I don't have any issue with that, it seems. But yeah, the flat sheet definitely has to be changed off the cotton, because that directly goes on my arm or it goes on my leg. So yeah, let me read chat really quick. Oh crap, hold on. Okay, here we are. Is it too hot? No, it's actually pretty chilly today. But I think that just being underneath the blankets, it's just like it traps in the heat, right? And then when I'm sleeping, it's like my skin can't breathe. So similar to how I have with my Lularoe leggings, my synthetic leggings, right? The problem with that is it traps in the heat. So because the heat is getting trapped in on my leg where I have that patch, that's causing me skin issues. Now I'm very lucky that I only have, like, my patch is only about the size of a quarter. However, the problem with having a patch like this is it just like, I look at my other patches around my body and they're healing. They're about 95, 80% healed or so. They're not weeping, but my leg is weeping just because whenever I go out, usually I wear leggings. And I could try wear more denim, but I feel like denim is more coarser than my leggings. So I don't want it like exfoliating my leg. Does that make sense? And I've also shared with you guys, like when I used to try to put an adhesive bandage on my arm patch, I ended up with like bumps around the band-aid, so I had to take the band-aid out. So thankfully my skin got much better, but I do have to constantly moisturize. I have to moisturize about 2 times a day. And then I also have to make sure about what material goes on my skin. Yeah, I have no problem with silk clothing. I have no problem with silk clothing. In fact, it's very, very soothing. The only thing bad about silk clothing is that there's a price premium. So, when you wear silk clothing, although it's great to wear, it's like probably the best material in my opinion. Like if you wear a silk shirt or if you wear a silk dress and the lining is silk too, it just glides over your skin. It's so I hate to say it like this, but it's so silky smooth. So if I could change all my closets to all like one material, 100% it would be silk. Silk, 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 silk. But that would be an expensive closet, most likely, right? Because it's like all my dresses would have to be switched over to silk. All my shirts would have to be switched over to silk. My leggings. I kind of want to find if I can get 100% cotton leggings somewhere, but it's kind of tough because like the leggings, like here, I'll show you guys this. So if you look at like Amazon, for instance, come on, a lot of the leggings where they talk about organic cotton, it's cut, so it's not just 100% it's not just 100% cotton. There's some sort of like synthetic stretchy material in there. So but yeah, Tencel I heard is pretty good. I'm not too familiar with all these kind of fabrics, but it's very sad and it's very sobering to see that a lot of the eczema safe clothing tends to come at a price premium. And I feel bad, I feel bad because it's like people see. So what do we got? We got 10% spandex. So maybe this one would be okay with me. 90% cotton, 10% spandex. This might be fine. So I have to check because I know that I can wear some like cut synthetics, but it's like a crapshoot. It really is a crapshoot because I've had things where it's like 80% cotton and 20% something else, and then I start itching. So, will this be okay? 90% cotton, 10% spandex? Maybe, maybe not. It's kind of been mind blowing to me because it's like I thought like, man, as long as it's predominantly cotton, I should be fine, but no. Yeah, so allergens in the environment. I've been combing the cats. I've been hitting them with dander spray, Oreo every day, blackberry every day, Clinton, I'd say every other day. But in terms of dander, I would say Oreo and blackberry are way worse than Clinton. So uh, it's like I'm trying to reduce. I know that I do have inflammation when it comes to cat hair. Sometimes like I'll look at my arm and I'll be like, why is it itching? And I'll look and I'll see cat hair sticking to it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, but I just want to navigate my clothing with the cats and keep it that way. No, I've actually been eating a lot more carbs. I've been completely off keto. So it's not because of that. I've been eating things like pita chips. I've been eating things like noodles, cookies, like lots of carbs. And in fact, it's like I feel like I'm kind of like just on a regular diet now, and it's so I know it's definitely not the lower carb intake, but yeah, so I feel happier on that. It's just the freaking now I'm just like looking at all the materials closely, and I think, oh, okay. But yeah, switching over the fitted sheet to a cotton sheet is not going to be a big deal at all. And maybe one day I can go back over to polyester, but for the time being, I gotta like do an overhaul of my clothing, at least for my leggings, because yeah, that isn't good. But I do want to add in more different kind of shirts in my closet because I don't want to keep wearing the same freaking sort of like t-shirt style over and over and over again. And you know what the crazy thing is? I found that not all my not all my shirts that I have that I thought was cotton is 100% cotton. Yeah, so there are some t-shirts that I had and I was like, ooh, this is really nice. And then I wear it and I'm like, how come I'm itching? And then I look at it and it's like not 100% cotton. It's like, oh, for frick's sake. It drives you crazy. It really drives you crazy. So I would recommend, if you guys can, for materials, if you're buying it, try to stick with, let's say, eczema safe clothing. And the reason why I say this is you you don't know when you might just suddenly be sensitive to something. And I've shared this with you guys in the past, right? I have sensitive skin soap. I use Dove sensitive skin. I have zero issues with that. Everything that I've been keeping around nowadays, I try to have like fragrance free. And I wish I could I really wish I could be that kind of person where they could just go to Bath and Body Works and buy a hand lotion that's scented with, let's say, some kind of nice scent. But I can't do that anymore. I don't want to risk it. Or some kind of scented body lotion. And I used to really really love that stuff. I used to like the idea of getting some coconut scented lotion, but yeah, everything is unscented. Everything I have to scrutinize the ingredients, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad because it's not because I did this because I wanted better for myself, but it's like you feel you get punished, or you feel like, yeah, you get punished whenever you stray away from certain things. And yeah, so yeah, exposure treatment. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I've been living with these cats for a while. I've had polyester for years and years and years. We've had the same kind of sheet set for over, what, 2 years? And I've never had a reaction to it. I've never woken up in the middle of the night because of the sheet set, except today. And it's just like the first thing I did when I woke up is I just started scratching, and I was like, what the frick? Um, so yeah, when I finally woke up, I looked at the label, and yeah, it says 100% polyester. So yeah, easy way to fix though. Just buy some cotton sheet sets, and yeah, yeah. You know what? I mean, like, it could be well, for me, it's like it's weeping, right? So if I don't treat it, it gets itchy, and then as it gets itchy, it starts like the skin gets drier and drier, and then sometimes it weeps. And I know people would say like, oh, that's really gross, Erica, but it's true. Like, the only way I get around this, the only way it starts healing is not just moisturizing, but getting rid of my exposure to synthetic materials. And there are so many synthetic materials. I was talking to Lewis yesterday, and uh, I said, it gets under my skin because I, when I wake up, I don't feel, I don't feel attractive. Like, I know that's terrible for me to say it, but I just like look in the mirror and I'm like, you look terrible, because it's like you're wearing this ill-fitted cotton shirt, and I, I feel like, yeah, I have to kind of like limit how tight my clothing is, right? Because I don't want it rubbing against my skin too much. So, yeah, I feel like when I wake up, I look like I just rolled out of bed. And there's nothing wrong with looking like you roll out of bed, but if you want to, let's say, look nicer, right? What you could do is you could wear a nicer shirt, a nicer sleep shirt. But there's just like, I just have like this kind of thing where I don't, I don't like starting my day off feeling like I'm not on point. And this has been going on for, let's say, a couple months, where it's like I've I've had to wear t-shirts, and I've had to kind of limit my exposure to my own leggings. So what happens is that I feel like I'm not moving forward, I'm moving backwards, right? But what can I do about it? The thing that I can do about it is like take a step back and say, okay, okay, you know what you have, and instead of just saying like screw it to all my pretty clothing, I have to go on the search and find nice, pretty cotton clothing, 100% cotton clothing. And I still read our Reddit. I still read our Reddit, eczema, and I see these people who are in so much mental anguish, and they're saying things like they're, they're suffering so much, or they try to do all these prescriptions, and I'm really lucky. I've said that to you guys before. Like, I consider myself to be really lucky because my skin issue, as long as I just stay away from synthetics, I'm okay. But if I wear, let's say, dowdy looking cotton clothing, that screws with my brain. So yeah, so I know the solution and I'm gonna go move forward on the solution, but I wanted to make this stream because if any of you guys find yourself in a similar situation as me, you don't have to be relegated to dowdy looking clothing, but you need to put that effort in to find better clothes. And that's why I share with you guys the unique glow thing. I don't want anybody to feel like they have a lesser quality of life because of sensitivity to certain things. And what you can do is, as I've said, right? You can go to Uniqlo or you can find like a shirt that has a better cut. And I'm not saying like this will be the solution for you guys. It might not be the solution for me because, as I mentioned, right, 100% cotton clothing that I've had, I can't wear all 100% clothing because of the seams. But I want people who, let's say, if they are suffering mentally because of, let's say, skin sensitivity issues, I don't want you guys to feel like you have to look a certain way because of your skin issue. And yeah, so you're gonna see a change in my clothing. It's gonna start looking a little nicer, and I think moving forward, I will always advocate for don't let your choice of material hold you back. If something's not working for you, again, try to find a different cut, try to find a higher quality of cotton. You don't have to get like one of those like Hot Topic, like those Walmart kind of branded cotton shirts. You can go to Uniqlo, and I mean, like $15 a shirt, I think is relatively, inexpensively priced. Yeah, see, so they have like smooth cotton, and I have to try all this freaking clothes, but we'll see. I, I very well may change my clothing style to be more, quote, minimalistic as a result of this whole thing. Not because I don't like pretty prints, but because your kind of choice of cotton clothing is kind of limited, right? Tends to be solid colors, tends to be kind of like the same ish cut, and yeah, but see this, like this stretch crew neck cotton, something like that, solid color. Yeah, it's there's actually some sentimental pieces of clothing that I can't wear jackets unless I wear something that is like a long sleeve under cotton undershirt underneath. And I'm just like, oh gosh. So I have to like protect myself from my old clothing, which is ridiculous. But it is what it is. Yeah. Oh, so Andrea says she changed to an all natural wardrobe in her 30s. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just got so used to dealing with like polyester clothing. But and as I mentioned before, I'd say 90% of the closet that I have, it's either synthetic or synthetic mix. Very, very, very few pieces are 100% cotton or 100% linen, and mm, um, it's just it's just heartbreaking because it's like you spend all this time getting clothes that make you feel great, and you feel like you have to let it go. And I'm like, I don't want to let go of my clothes. I love my clothes so much. But yeah, I guess the compromise is this is like, I might have some nice clothing, but you're going to catch me wearing a long sleeve underneath it, or certain things. Yeah, so. And then my bottoms, right? Then I have to think about bottoms because I'm just talking about cotton tops. I'm not thinking about the bottoms and all the leggings I have. I'm probably gonna have to start phasing down wearing those leggings and then experimenting with these cotton spandex leggings instead. See that? Like, I don't think anyone's gonna be able to tell, and I'm not gonna really be able to tell between 100%, 90% cotton versus a synthetic. But you know what? You know what is a synthetic? That is that is kind of hard for me to let go. My my workout leggings. So these leggings. Hold on, let me show you guys these ones. Hold on. these guys. Oh my gosh, I don't want to let go of my leggings. See, so it's my Lululemon leggings. I really like them because they're nice and silky and smooth, and but they trap in, they trap in moisture. So this is I remember I did a stream where I was repairing these leggings, and now it's like if I work out, I feel like I'm gonna be stuck wearing shorts working out. And that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I just wanted to wear these like little workout leggings. And so what might happen is if I work out, let's say with Lewis or something like that, I might go to the store wearing my like cotton leggings, and then I have to bring a change of shorts to work out in or something like that. Um, and then yeah, change them or something. I don't know. If I run, unless I have a cotton legging that works with me, then yeah, then I'll have to just move over to shorts. Because the shorts is, yeah, see all this stuff? Oh, I love these leggings so much. I mean, people might be like, oh, you're just into the brand name. No, I like the feel of it. Like, they feel very smooth and silky, and they have this nice snap to them. Not snap to them, but they have this nice, like, they feel very, like, controlled, and they just, like, if you have, let's say, how would I describe it? Like, if you wear a cheap shirt versus a more expensive shirt, like let's say you wear like a cheap cotton t-shirt versus a more expensive cotton t-shirt, you can feel that premium difference. And I really like having my Lululemon leggings because yeah, they just make me feel like yeah, this is a great pair of leggings. I've tried cheaper leggings. I don't they don't have that same kind of premium feel to them. That's the best way I can describe them. But yeah, I don't want to let go of these leggings. It sounds ridiculous for me to say it like that, but I don't want to let go of those leggings. Yeah, so see that? Yeah, so Elle says I got some of those leggings. They are really good. I've had some that it's a couple years old, and it's like I don't want to let go of them. I'm like I love you guys so much. I mean I can fit into them, right? So I think I can let go of a lot of my leggings, but my Lululemon leggings. Oh, I don't want to get rid of them. I don't want to get rid of these babies. Can't I take pills to stop the itchy? I want to figure out, like, I want to get rid of I don't want to stay on prescriptions, just to wear clothes that I want. I rather just figure out, like, okay, well, if I'm reacting to synthetic, right, it's probably healthier for me to cut the synthetic out of my life and then move over to natural fibers. But it's hard because, like I said, you're conditioned to, like, take pride into your closet. I know that sounds really silly for me to say it, but it's like when you start changing out pieces and you upgrade your pieces and then you spend months or years working on it, and then you have, like, let's say these little black dresses that you really like, something happens where you can't wear those clothes anymore. It's like you look at it and you see these pieces and it just messes with your head because it's like you put in all that work to get those pieces, and they're so beautiful, some of these pieces, but at the end of the day you kind of think like, okay, I can wear it, but it's kind of like a ticking time bomb because you don't know how long it might before you start itching. So for instance, right, uh, last month or so, I put on a t-shirt, and then I put on like I was getting ready to go out of the apartment, and then I threw on a top, and I didn't, I thought like, oh, okay, this is fine, it seems okay. About 20 minutes after I left the apartment, I had to go back and change my shirt because I was itching way too much. So you figure, right? Like for certain clothes, it's like I have to wear them around the apartment for maybe an hour or two and then see, like, do I have a reaction to this clothes? Do I not have a reaction to this clothes? And there are some pieces of clothes that I didn't expect to have a reaction, but nowadays I'm noticing that I've just become increasingly sensitive to it. I don't know what happened. I don't know why all of a sudden, let's say this month, I can't wear a certain piece of clothes, but 2 months ago, it seemed like it was okay. No, it wasn't ticks. It's not bugs or anything like that. It's like I just start itching around my neck area. Um, so my neck area is like 100% fine. But if I wear something that irritates my neck area, then it starts breaking out in what looks like to be like some sort of rash or hives within like 20 minutes. So, and then I start scratching, right? And yeah, it gets a little, my skin is very sensitive. So if I have some sort of irritating fabric or irritating seam, I'll notice pretty damn quickly. Yes, it actually does. So Emily says, "Does it? This may sound dumb, but does your skin react to your bras and undergarments?" Yeah, it does. My skin actually does react to my bras. My bras are synthetic, so I usually try not to wear my bras very often, or if I do, I wear them for a short period of time because it's like I notice around like the back area where I flared up around my back is exactly where my back, the synthetic fabric is hitting my back. So, yeah, but I try not to wear a bra like most of the time. No, it's not too much info. Like people should be aware of it. Like if you're a woman or you wear a bra and you notice like you have an itchy part on your back, try to figure out like where is that itchy part hitting. Um, and for me, it hits right where the fabric covers, and it's not like all around, but it's like on my left hand side. So I don't know why some parts of my body has flare ups and other parts don't. So it's strange. It's really strange. Like what caused my, let's say, right arm, the outside forearm, to end up with the issue, but not my left hand side? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to be on anti-allergy pills for the rest of my life, though. That's the thing. So it's easier for me to just like swap out things. But yeah, there are certain like undergarments or certain bras I cannot wear anymore because if I wear it, it traps in too much heat, I'm assuming, on my back. And then it's like I never had an issue with it. Again, I've never had an issue with it up until like um like a couple months ago. Yeah, all my clothes are washed, and it's like even clothes that I've had for years or like over a year, like I had no issue with it. It's just like I react to it, and I never change a laundry detergent at all. So, but it's strange because it's like I have, let's say, clothes that I wash together, right? Consistently, the 100% cotton t-shirts don't give me issues, but consistently the synthetics give me issues. So if they're all getting washed in the same kind of thing over and over again, what most likely is the cause, right? I would say it's the synthetics. No, I actually wear a sports bra. Um so let me show you guys this one. But the problem with sport bras are they're made out of synthetic material. So if you look at the, let's see over here, sports bra, because they're stretchy, right? So you figure they have some sort of spandex in them. Let's look this up. See, synthetic material. So all this stuff, oh, it sucks. It sucks. But yeah, the moisture, absolutely wrecks my skin. And I've shared with you guys before, like my own sweat causes my skin to get itchy. My own sweat. So, there are times it's like I work out and then almost immediately after I want to jump in the shower because I just start itching. Like my chest starts itching. Even if I'm working out on 100% cotton, I just get really itchy. And the only way I stop that is I have to wipe the sweat off my body, my own sweat. Oh, wow. Andrea says, I didn't have dust allergies when I was younger, but after some time in a dusty environment, I became allergic. Yeah, I've been upping, let's say, vacuuming and sweeping and combing the cat so much. And it's weird because it's like, I feel like with all this effort, I feel like I'm getting better, but it's like it doesn't completely resolve. Have you tried different synthetic outfits to see what you can wear? As far as I know, all the synthetics, like all my synthetic leggings, give me issues. My synthetic bras give me issues. My synthetic shirts, tops give me issues. There's this one. Let me see what one shirt was. Let me figure this one out. I have the tag here too. 51% cotton, 49% viscose. Yeah, that gives me issues. Crazy, because it's like I thought, like, man, this is enough cotton. No, it's not enough cotton. Yeah. You know what I do, Elle? I would highly suggest, like, if you're okay with buying pre-owned, I would just buy pre-owned leggings from, let's say, Plato's Closet or Buffalo Exchange or Mercari. So I have like a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, maybe I have like 6 pairs of Lululemon leggings, and I think I paid about, let's say, $25 each of them. No, I've definitely moisturize. I always have moisturizer on me too. So, I mean, I leave the house and I bring my moisturizer with me. After I take a shower, I moisturize. I wake up, I moisturize. Um, I throughout the day, I moisturize. Like if I feel like my skin's getting a little dry, I moisturize. I get out of the shower, I moisturize. Before I go to sleep, I moisturize. It's a lot of moisturizing. So the good thing is like if you moisturize, people say like you don't end up with wrinkles as much. But yeah, I've just realized like, dang, I go through so much freaking moisturizer, and I'm not over moisturizing in my opinion. It's just it's like I know some people would say like, why do you moisturize so much, right? And if anybody doesn't have skin issues, I'll tell you why. Because if you don't moisturize, your skin gets itchy. And the only way that you stop that itchiness is to moisturize. So you're in this cycle of, okay, my skin's a little itchy, let me moisturize. Okay, you don't feel itchy for a little bit. And then your skin also gets better. So if your skin is, let's say, itchy and raw, which is what happened to my arm for the longest time, yeah, that happens. But so yeah, so yesterday it's like I looked at my arm, it was a little itchy. I had this little red bump on there, barely noticeable, but kind of like a small mosquito bite. And I said, okay, I gotta moisturize. Oh, do you get enough vitamin D? I am taking 5,000 IUs of vitamin D every day. So that is quite a lot. So every week I get about 35,000 IUs of vitamin D a day. I also take zinc as well. And yeah, so my skin got better after I took those things coincidentally, but it's not, it's not 100%. But it's to the point where it's like I don't want to stop the vitamin D and I don't want to stop the zinc, because if my skin's getting better and I know how it is when it gets worse, it just puts me a little bit on edge. And then I also go out, so not as much as before, but I when I go out, I am exposing myself to vitamin D. Mm. No, I'm not on birth control. Mm. Hydrocortisone based medicine. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm using that I'm using a mixture of that. Oh my goodness. Let me find this one. So I'm using this. If you guys are in the US, you aren't going to be able to get this because this is actually from Germany. So I use this, and I also use a CeraVe Diabetic Dry Skin Relief. And then I also put on shea butter. But this thing is great. This thing is really great. I'm not gonna like, this is absolutely great. So I've been just kind of tweaking around, but I think it's the CBD that really adds to it, because I've tried, let's see, I've tried argan oil. It's like argan oil, mango butter, beeswax, shea butter. I've tried shea butter. I've tried coconut oil. I've tried argan oil. I've tried beeswax, mango butter. I haven't really tried. I could buy mango butter and see how that works, but the CBD, the 250 milligrams of CBD in there, people say that CBD really helps with eczema. So yeah, let's see. So CBD. Some people say that they feel like it works for them, CBD. I've looked at Reddit eczema. Other people say that it doesn't. So same with the Manuka honey. Like, I've tried so many different things. See this? CBD ointment helped clear skin and reduce itch and the sleep loss it caused. So I can't definitively say if it is because of the CBD, but I've tried a whole bunch of creams, and this one actually works the best. And coincidentally, this one has the best this one actually has CBD in it. But yeah, this is like, I wish they sold this stuff in the United States, because I feel like if more people had access to this stuff, like, that would just be great for them. But yeah, I'm gonna. And CBD oil is actually not that. Let me show this CBD oil. CBD oil isn't let's find it, that cheap. It's a kind of expensive. Let's see. And I know people will be like, "Oh my goodness, Erica, CBD oil." See this? Let's see, CBD oil buy. Where do I buy this stuff from? Amazon doesn't sell it? Well, I'm surprised. Oh, they do. CBD oil is not that expensive. What was the one that I was looking at? Maybe it depends on the brand. No. Because, like, some of these brands, like, I don't even know what the hell they are. Like, New Age and, Nature's Beneficial, that kind of stuff. And I'm kind of, this is just me though, but like, some of these brands you hear about, because it's not like a big name brand, I've always been kind of worried. Like, do you know if this is like pure or something like that? Because there's like so much generics, right? And then some of this stuff, like, I've shared this same kind of thought with the essential oils. Some of the Amazon brands of essential oils, you look at it, and let's say something goes for $250 an ounce, right? If they're selling it for $20 an ounce, then that kind of implies that it's definitely fake. Because if everybody else is selling for $250 an ounce, and you got this one seller who's coincidentally from China selling it for $20, there's something very, very fishy. So, yeah, a lot of research I have to do. But, yeah, I do want to figure out. Oh, look at this. 235,000. What the hell is this? Discomfort and sort of like 5 million mg. Oh my gosh, I don't. This is just so much that kind of stuff. See this? Like, this is where you're gonna be like, okay, is this a little too much? Just like put a drop on my skin kind of thing. Is it even safe? I see. That's the one thing. It's like, you have these like crazy dosages. I don't know if you're supposed to eat this, or if it's, see. I know some people, they say they put this on their skin. Oh, did you see that? CBD force. See this? So you got this stuff, these lotions, CeraVe, that kind of stuff, hemp body relief, anytime. And this looks so generic. You see this anytime lotion, milkweed oil? Is it just me, or does this look like kind of suspicious? This looks like a homemade cream. I mean, I don't want to like knock it, but sometimes like when I see these homemade creams, I'm like, oh, where's it made in? It's made in China. I remember. Okay, so here's this other cream that I heard about, and I know I'm getting off track, but this is a freaking live stream anyway. So there was this one cream that was listed as an all-natural cream. Oh, let me try to find it. It was a Chinese all-natural cream, and then it came out that like people, okay, this was supposed to be listed as an all-natural Chinese cream for eczema, and people were swearing by this, like, oh my goodness, this cream really works and it's all natural. The FDA stepped in, and then they found out there was a steroid inside of the cream, so that's why it worked. I could not believe it. It was like, I forgot the name of it, but it was this Chinese all natural cream that, yeah, they realized it with steroids in there. uh, Chinese. It's like Z. I forgot the name of it. I really forgot the name of it. So I'm a little like suspicious about certain kind of creams. I mean, I don't want to like dish Chinese medicine because I think Chinese medicine can be legit, but like some of these kind of creams that you hear coming out from China, unless it's like a really, unless you really trust it, like you gotta watch out. Because it's like you don't want to find out that, yeah, you've been putting topical steroid on your cream thinking that it was just like an all natural, like um, chamomile or, certain like rosemary oil or something like that. No, it wasn't that. It was like this Chinese cream. Chinese eczema cream 100. No, steroid. Was it this one? Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Okay, here we go. I laughed when I saw it. See this one? This family consultant and practitioner of Chinese medicine who preserved, what is like Z's? Oh, I forgot what it was called. Okay, so yeah, see, so they went to a practitioner of Chinese medicine. So they had a herbal cream, and then after he applied it for 9 months, he ended up with a new rash. And then they figured out that they found out that, yeah, they thought that I had a corticosteroid in there, and they tested it, and then they found out that the cream had a corticosteroid and then the antifungal. Yeah, see? And then they reported it afterwards. So don't think that just because you buy this cream that seems like it's all natural ingredient. Let's see if we can click that better. See, like it looks like I got a bunch of leaves in here, right? See that? Herbal cream? No. This is why that stuff works. It works because it has steroids in there. So I've heard about a couple of Chinese creams on like eczema boards where people say like, oh yeah, this works really well, but I don't want to get it. It's like I said, it's not because I hate the Chinese or I'm. It's just because I think that for some of these companies, not all, some of these companies, they might not put the right ingredients in there. And then they'll say, oh yeah, see, it's all natural, it works. Don't go to get some steroid cream because this all natural thing works. And then you find out that the all natural Chinese cream actually does have steroids. Yeah. So Emily says, I try not to buy anything from China because a lot of Chinese products are made from slaves. Okay, yeah, Chinese garlic has what did they say? I think they said I might be remembering it wrong. It's made out of like sewer water. Oh, you know what else you guys gotta watch? They're Chinese like farms. They use a lot of pesticides. So we're getting off track. They use a lot of pesticides and they use a lot of fertilizer. So when there's actually been a few videos on it where, yeah, see, Chinese farm causes more pollution than factories. They go crazy. Like the Chinese, like I've seen things where it's like maybe they'll say like, okay, use 1 packet of fertilizer for your field. They'll use like 2 or 3 packets because they'll say they want it bigger. So you end up with this like frankenfood kind of sized green onions, for instance, because the bigger the item is, right, the more money they get from it, and they don't really have. I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It saddens me when I hear about all these sort of exposés coming out from China about how they're screwing over their fellow Chinese. So they'll cut food with all sorts of chemicals. So instead of, let's say, making like a homemade broth, they'll put some like it's not like artificial flavoring, but they'll put in things that are really not meant to be used for human consumption into the food. There was this whole thing where like the Chinese dumpling filling. Oh, where is it? Oh my goodness. I think it was cardboard. I don't know if that was true or not. Okay, it was a hoax allegedly, but the all this stuff. I don't know if this was true or not, but I heard about this. They're saying it's false. Who knows, right? Chopped cardboard, softened industrial chemical made with tasty pork flavoring. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. But of course, if the things come out, right, Chinese government's gonna say that is totally false. It never happened. We would never do this kind of stuff, right? So how can you do that to your fellow Chinese? That's the thing that saddens me a lot. So yeah, we see this stuff allegedly. Oh, look at this. Oh, Libby Manapu. Oh, frick. This is pork hash. This is in freaking Hawaii. Oh, this is so good. They don't use cardboard in Hawaii. But not just this. You remember like the Chinese melamine baby formula thing? Like this stuff, it actually injured or I think it killed kids, if I remember correctly. See? All this stuff coming from freaking China. And as I mentioned, I don't hate the Chinese, but it disappoints me and it saddens me a lot when I hear these kind of scandals coming out from China. There's all sorts of like food things that they do to cut down costs. There's also gutter oil. In case you never heard about gutter oil, I really should make a stream on this. So what they'll do is they'll dredge the oil from the sidewalks, the manholes, and then they'll clean it, and then they'll sell it to food vendors, and then it'll be a fraction of the cost of like regular vegetable oil, right? So if you go to some of these street stands, you might actually be eating food that's cooked in this cheap gutter oil, and it's not only non-healthy for you, it's also highly carcinogenic from what I've heard. And this is a big industry. This is not just like 2% of Chinese places do this. This is actually pretty high from what I've heard. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. See, it's a pretty common problem. See, so they use gutter oil. Yeah, yeah. So they're just screwing over their own Chinese people. And it's you hear about this kind of stuff. It's like, oh, frick. It gives Chinese restaurants or Chinese things coming out from China, bad name. Compare that, right? Compare that to like made in China versus made in Japan. Like made in Japan, you know they're not going to be screwing you over, right? But the made in China creams, be a little bit more suspicious of that. So I wanted to share this with you guys. I know this was an eczema stream. It definitely delved into other things. Maybe I'll make a edited video about this stuff and then go into more detail, so that way people don't have to watch my long ass streams to hear this information, because it's a 1 hour video. But yeah, Chinese, not all Chinese, okay? I don't want to say all Chinese, but Chinese are very good at skimping out on things for certain businesses, and that's why they don't mind poisoning their own fellow countrymen, their own children, their own people, just to make more money. And not just this, it's also like freaking noodles too. So Chinese noodles, chemicals. See this? Wait, no, not this one. I can't find it, but I remember reading about like Chinese, some of these street hawker signs. They'll put this kind of chemical inside the noodles to make it Chinese street vendor food chemicals. Yeah, I can't find it, but when I find it, I'll link it to you guys. Basically, they make these noodles and then they'll put like all sorts of stuff in there in the soup base, so it tastes like it's really rich, and it tastes like they spent a long time on it, but it's not stuff that people should be consuming. It's not just like MSG stuff. It's worse than that. It's stuff that definitely would not fly if you tried to sell this in the United States. And it's one of those like dirty secrets. But it was a YouTube video. I can't find it off the... See, so you see gutter oil over here. What's a synthetic? I don't know. Yeah, there's all sorts of like food. And I gotta find that freaking documentary. I'll link it to you guys in the community post when I see it later. I'll look for it after I end this stream, for sure. Oh yeah, you're talking about that one guy who got arrested. Are you talking about Jack Ma? Jack Ma? He had to be on house arrest or something like that for a couple months. I know because my Baba stock took a huge hit and I ended up selling Baba. Too much stress for me to hold. Okay, so we're gonna check out Emily's link. I'm not gonna play it because I don't want this stream getting pulled. Last time I tried to pull, if I try to play too much, certain stuff, then yeah. Oh crap. Yeah, if I try to play too much certain stuff, ooh. Yeah, so maybe you guys check that thing out. I'm not gonna be saying it. You guys can read it, and yeah. There are certain things like I don't mind having this on my YouTube streams, but in terms of it staying up on my stream, I choose not to, out say certain things, or talk about certain things, because it's not YouTube friendly. And it actually shocks me sometimes. It's like sometimes I'll do a stream and then it just YouTube, for instance, isn't too happy. So this is one of those things I imagine that Emily shared. It would not be too happy, but it seems like it stays up because maybe they didn't see it. It only has 591 views. So check it out. I don't know what it says, what it shows. I'm not going to play it on here, but good to at least be aware. Or, right, if it doesn't happen to be true, do your own research. I think that freedom of speech is incredibly important, and it saddens me when you hear about certain things that they don't show you, and then you end up having to go on different websites, like like, um, you know, bit and then space, 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 shoot, that kind of stuff. Or live, space, 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 leak, for instance. And live, space, 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 leak. They actually heavily clean things up for sure. And it saddens me because I remember I used to look up certain things that I couldn't find online before at that website, and now they made it more like a secondary YouTube of sorts, and it lost a lot of its appeal to me, for sure. Yeah, I'll play it after the stream. But yeah, Emily, thanks for sharing it. People should be aware of it, even if it doesn't end up being true. You guys, like, look up all sorts of different sources. For me, I try to look at both sides of the thing. So, for instance, right, you guys know, and I've said this before. I I think that sometimes we have certain space 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 spear space 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 space. See, that's how I'm trying to get around it. Um, Around, and some people, they look online, they look on certain websites, and they try to, they hear about these like um, pra space 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 scandals of sorts, and it's good to be aware of it. There are certain things like I read about and I don't believe it, but knowing about it is better than not knowing about it. I don't believe everything that I hear. I don't believe everything that I watch, and I'm open to watching it, to knowing about certain things, because sometimes it's like you figure, is this something that actually is legit, or is this something that certain companies, certain people, certain individuals, certain governments want to hide from us? I haven't. Thank you for sharing that, Santi. I have not seen that. So the stream that got pulled, that one basically I talked about. I'm trying to remember what that was about. That one was basically about a guy who wasn't being very sensitive about to his girlfriend, and I said something along the lines of, you can always phrase things a different way. For instance, right? If someone is gaining weight, you don't have to tell them like, "Oh, you're looking like a lard ball." You can say, "Hey, I noticed that you're gaining a little weight. Do you want to exercise with me, or should we both clean up our diets, because I don't want to gain weight as well?" Right? There's different ways of phrasing things, not just like attacking another person. I find that, yeah, sometimes if you just kind of attack another person directly and you don't say things in a kind manner, or you just hit them with a barrage of stuff, it can leave some very traumatic, lasting impacts on them. And yeah, so that was the whole thing about it. I call that person a clown because what that one Reddit stream was about was, this one woman was complaining about how her coworkers were taking 6 months off, and it was causing her stress. And the boyfriend's reply, if I remember correctly, was like, do you ever think about how your coworkers perceive you when you take time off? But she only takes a couple of days off. She doesn't take a couple of 6 months off. And I I was saying something along the lines of, instead of the boyfriend phrasing things that way, he could have phrased it as, "Oh, that sounds really stressful. Why don't you ask your boss if you're going to have coverage for 6 months, because it's unfair if you have to cover the slack for 6 months." See where I'm getting at? Rather than attacking, rather than just like turning it on the girlfriend and saying like, "Well, how do you think your coworkers perceive you when you take a few days off?" See? So I thought that was not good to do, and I I hope, I said like, I don't think that's how people speak to each other. You don't kind of say like, that doesn't make the situation better when you just say like, "Okay, well, what about you?" It's like, well, it's comes from a worker shortage. It has nothing really to do about that one individual person. It's a management situation. So you got things like that. And then there was another situation where the guy said something along the line. They were talking about like nobility, and the boyfriend said something along the lines of, no, the girlfriend said something like, "Oh, you used to say that I used to look more noble before. what happened? You know, you don't really compliment me anymore. And he says, like, oh, yeah, you don't really look noble because of the clothes that you wear, like the top you're wearing right now. I know it sounded more harsh than the way I'm remembering it, but I thought, like, geez, you could have phrased it as, like, oh, I really liked it. You know, you look really noble when your hair is up in this way and now your hair is in a ponytail. Versus, like, yeah, you don't look noble anymore and the clothes that you're wearing sucks. See? So you gotta be like mindful about how you word certain things, because if you come off as like, you know, you look ugly, you suck, that kind of stuff, or and you don't treat people very kindly, or you don't watch how you phrase things to certain people, you come off like a total jackass. So that was the whole point about it. And I said that um, I'm sure that this woman doesn't say this kind of stuff to that guy. One person at my job, let me read this. One person at my job was talking about another. I told them when are. Yeah, you know what the thing is? Like, I wouldn't even engage with people like that, because here's the thing. Um, that kind of person, if they're talking crap about another coworker, you have to be really careful about how you approach things at a work environment, because you don't want it to come out that, you know, another coworker hears that you're talking crap about that first coworker to another person. So I would just be like, oh, that, you know, oh, that sucks, or just keep it really brief. Don't engage too much in it. Like, you have to know who you can trust and who you can't trust. And yeah, that kind of person who talks crap, you don't want to get on their bad side, because you don't know if that person, if you get on their bad side, if they start targeting you. Does that make sense?
Start targeting you.
What? What do you mean you're going to target me?
I'm going to start targeting you.
How are you going to target me?
Target you.
If you want to target me, you shouldn't tell me that you're going to target me.
Target
Oh, jeez.
you. By the way, I got something I want to test for you.
What?
I got a little gift.
You got a gift?
It's
Oh,
not a gift.
this
I'm gonna take
sucks.
it back.
Okay, what is it? Is it a new MacBook? No. Yeah, so for instance, right? I don't like the idea of creating workplace violence, workplace stress. YouTube's not gonna be too happy about that one. Workplace like stress or drama, because the problem is that if you get involved with certain individuals who are negative and toxic, they are just gonna they will not hesitate to take you down. When I used to work at this insurance place, for instance, which was an incredibly toxic environment, holy crap, like there was so much crap talking and things like that, and I chose to keep my mouth shut about a lot of things, right? Because it's like, I don't want to, I just was looking at self-preservation, and I remember my coworkers were saying, like, Erica, you're such a doormat, and I was like, oh, you know, like, you don't want to engage with those kind of things, because it's like it's so catty. But that wasn't a good working place environment. The supervisors sucked, the company sucked. I told people, like, after I left that job, I told so many people, like, please do not work there. Do not work there. Even if they give you a job offer, do not work there. And they're like, why? And I was like, oh, it's a good company, Eric. I'm like, you don't understand. It's a really toxic work environment. And when people are stressed out and management sucks, it becomes like dog eat dog kind of thing. So yeah, very important to have a good workplace environment, because if you don't have a good workplace environment, keep in mind that's like 1/3 of your day spent at work, and it's not mentally healthy for you at all. Yeah, so keep your distance, Wes, okay? Like, don't get involved with that kind of person. Don't engage them. Don't curse at them. Just keep your responses short and brief and walk away. Because you don't want that, like I said, you don't want them to be on a whole uh um like a whole mission to tear you down. And I don't want you to find yourself in that kind of stressful position. I know sometimes, like, people think like, oh, if someone disrespects me, then I need to put them in their place and just like lash out at them. You got to pick and choose your battles, because from what I've realized from certain people, some people are so toxic and so mean that even if you defend yourself, you're going to give them more ammo, and you're going to just like feed into them. There's this one person in particular, right? I'm not going to name names here, But there's this one person that I heard about that was trying to troll another person. And I was talking about this person to a bunch of individuals who know this person in particular, right? So the comment was said that this person likes getting under people's skin, and it's like these group of individuals haven't interacted with this person in quite some time. Oh, thank you.
We'll see how this works. If it works well, then we get you a set. So let's see. Where do you sit? Where do you sit? So where's your perch? That's it.
It is my perch. I don't move. What are you gonna do with this big cord? This big cord does not work. It does not fit into my little MacBook thing. What this? Ah! Sorry, rip you guys. You guys had a giant something hit you. Oh wow, I feel like Larry King or something.
Oops.
See, anonymous individual is giving me some really good advice. Try to remain aloof to drama while still being aware. Yeah, you do not want to end up, like, if you're in a workplace environment and it gets escalated, you do not want to get pulled into HR, okay? Because it's going to be like a they said, you said sort of thing. And it's very easy for someone to try to, like, attack you if you are part of this kind of drama, you know? It's easy. Like, if someone has, like, how would I say this? I remember. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, you don't have an HR department. Okay. Can you guys hear me better?
No, it's not gonna turn on this yet.
Okay, hold up. Tell me, guys, if you guys can hear me better.
Hey guys.
What? That does not sound like me.
I go auxiliary too. Make it mono.
I don't understand that, but okay. Can you guys hear me? Do I sound better?
Say so. Talking to the microphone.
I am talking into the microphone. Okay. That is good, Emily. So, I don't want to bring too much religion into this, but Emily says, do what Jesus Christ preached. Be as wise as a snake, but as gentle as a dove. See, Emily gives good advice. Yay. Thank you. Okay, so it does sound good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, this is strange because I'm not so used to having a big microphone in my face.
So you don't want that to go above the red. You don't want it to go above the...
Okay, so how do I adjust this baby?
So let me show you. So you want to be... Oh, how
What?
does this work?
No, this is a MacBook.
Damn, how do you make that?
I don't know.
What?
What? Why don't you click on this window? This double window. Yeah, click on that. Ta-da! Is that good? Ta-da!
Wow, it never really... Okay, so you don't want to go to... See how it distorts when it goes all the way up?
Okay.
So
Can
I have to lower this.
Can I
No, you don't lower it there. You
Oh, I
lower
don't.
it here, so this way it doesn't clip. 'Cause if
Okay.
you lower it there, you're just lowering the distortion.
Okay, okay.
So this is where you lower it. See this?
Okay,
So
okay.
you go, there you go.
Okay. So I'm gonna put this back over here,
So
and
this is your little volume control, not that.
so this little white line.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't touch it. Thank you. So it seems like my audio got is audio too big. It's like one of those like it sounds, how do I describe it? It is like having a giant microphone right in my face, but it has a mic stand too, so I feel like an announcer of sorts. Is it a condenser mic? What is this?
It is. It's an
it's a condenser.
5400.
AE.
Audio-Technica AE 5400. It has the same capsule as the Audio-Technica 4050, which sounds very similar to an AKG 414. Now
What?
I'm gonna do this.
No, I don't want this. I gotta go make breakfast.
Oh,
I can't make eggs like this.
Let's see, direct monitor.
What is the point of this microphone? I'm not listening to anybody. D? What? E?
1 second. Hello, test. Aha. Okay.
What?
Okay, now you are listening to something.
Test. Hey, I can hear myself. Hey, that's pretty cool. Hey, what do you know?
So That's you listening to yourself over here.
Okay, so if I wanted to
This is you. This is you.
Okay.
That's general. That's general headphone volume, and this is the U volume.
Okay, so if I don't want to hear myself, all I do is just turn it down?
You turn off direct monitor here. So this is direct monitor.
Okay. Oh, this is so strange. Huh? I know, I have a much better setup now. Okay, so I hear like a feedback loop. It's weird because this is I'm so used to having like a small delay, because sometimes when I listen to myself, which is very, very rarely, I have it streaming on my phone, right? So there's about a few seconds delay when I have it on my phone versus when I'm actually saying this. So I hear this echo. You guys have heard this. Sometimes when like Lewis is listening to my stream and I'm talking, and you hear like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" That's the reason why. So, yeah. So I think I will keep this upgrade for at least a little bit, and we will see how this goes. So, let's go back over here. Yeah, so Wes, just watch what you're doing and remember what Emily says and remember what Anonymous Individual says. You do not want to create unnecessary stress in your work environment, and I do not want, like I said, I do not want you to just hyper focus on this individual. And going back to what I was saying, right? So there was this individual who was trolling a group of people, and I'll share it with this way. It involved some tech people that you and I are familiar with, and that's all I'm going to leave it at that. And I remember there was like a circle of people, right? And they were talking about this individual, and I thought to myself, like, okay, you know, they were saying all about this individual and how they're such a troll and things like that, or how they think that this person is trying to get under their skin. And I thought to myself, like, wow, you know, this kind of person is really trying to make themselves stand out from the crowd. And while they were talking about this individual, it went on for about 15 minutes or so. I told them, I said, you know, what you're doing is exactly what this individual wants. And they said, what do you mean? I said, you are talking about this individual even though they're not there. You haven't interacted with this individual for a few months, yet you still think about him. You know, you still think about this person. And that is how certain people are. They want to get under your skin, and they want to take up this space in your head rent free. And even if they're long gone, right, they can't wait, or they look forward to the thought of you thinking about them. And this, you know, there are some people out there, and I've seen a few of these individuals where they have nothing better to do except to try agitate a situation, because they feel like the best stimulation they have in life is to just get a reaction from you, whether it be anger or sadness or frustration or just that kind of stuff. And when you're, you know, at a job, you don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. Like, life is too important for us to stress out about people who don't add value to our lives, you know, who just try to make it more chaotic. And be mindful about that, Wes. And everybody else, you know, be mindful about it, because when you are off the clock at work, I hope you don't think about workplace drama. I hope you don't think about those individuals who just try to make life unhappy. And you have to set boundaries for sure. Let's see over here. 17, yeah, brunch with wine. I don't drink. I go straight to Red Lobster actually when I drink. It's I actually, whenever I drink alcohol, it's a very, very fine line between me feeling buzzed and me going straight to feeling sick. So I stay away from that kind of thing. And when I drink alcohol, I don't like looking like a stop sign. So I prefer not to drink. And lucky for me, I don't really like the taste of alcohol too much. So maybe if I didn't have that Asian glow, maybe it would be completely different for me. But unfortunately, I do get the Asian glow, and I do have a very low alcohol tolerance. So no brunch with wine for me, for sure. Yeah, so I am so compared to my previous setup, because I can't listen to my old setup or my old stream maybe about 10 minutes ago. How does the audio compare? Does it sound much better here versus before? Because I imagine, like, when I was recording with OBS, you guys could hear the bzzz, bzzz, you know, my poor little MacBook. By the way, how did you get a second one?
Huh?
How did you get a second red box?
That's what I'm going to use when I'm traveling.
Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
But if it works for you, I'll get you one too.
Oh. Oh, okay.
So the red box is the interface that powers the microphone,
Mm.
and the microphone is the microphone.
Mm.
What you're using is the mic built into your computer, and not only does that microphone a total piece of shit, but it's also right next to your fan.
Yeah. My you can tell my MacBook is working when kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, Wes, I hope you have a better interaction with that coworker for sure. Let's see. China has no calling about China theft and making a little counterfeit goods. China is a country where, as Andrea said, people will not hesitate to make an extra cent, an extra dollar, and things like that. I understand the whole counterfeit thing. There's a lot of people in China who are very, very they see an opportunity when it comes to LV bags or fake, I don't know, fake baby formula, that kind of stuff. If they can make extra money, they'll do it. They will do it, and I don't see anything really bad about counterfeit handbags. I'm gonna be real here. If you buy it from China, from a company or factory, and I hear about the whole copyright infringement thing, I listen to that kind of thing. But when I think about that, I think if we talk about child labor, it doesn't just end, or it doesn't just stop with counterfeit goods. Child labor exists not just in the factories, but it also exists in the fields, right? For instance, right, raw materials, harvesting raw materials, mica, for instance, which is very popular in cosmetics, that has a lot of child labor. When it comes to sourcing, let's say, things like cocoa beans or like picking coffee, that could also involve child labor. And child labor exists because of poverty. It doesn't exist because the family wants to be cruel to their child. So the child is considered another expense. It's another mouth to feed. And if the child can offset their expenses or their financial burden to the family, that is why child labor exists. It's so easy for us in first world countries to say, oh, there needs to be laws prohibiting that. But we live in a country, at least in the United States, where we have minimum wage. So it is a completely different story. For instance, right, if you live in a third world country where there is no such thing as minimum wage, where there is no social service fail safe of sorts, no food banks, no community pantries, no WIC, no low income assistance, housing or unemployment, then you're really off on your own. And that is the bigger picture here. So I'm not going to say that I turn a blind eye to child labor, but I definitely understand why it exists. And it's pretty first world elitist kind of thinking if we say, yeah, we should eradicate all child labor and we just need to have laws in place to eradicate it. Or you just, try to buy things that are fair trade, but there are so many things that we get, let's say from the Dollar Tree, or even if something that you buy from Walmart, you cannot guarantee that child labor hasn't been used. Suppliers can say, oh yeah, we don't have child labor over here, but then as soon as the inspectors leave, right, they bring all the children away, from who's stuck in the closets, or I don't know where these kids are hiding, right? If they know that there's going to be some sort of inspection, they can easily say, hey, anybody under the age of 18, like, don't come to work today because inspectors are going to be here. And when the inspectors leave, okay, everybody, we'll have all hands on deck, sort of thing. And talking about inspections, I used to work at a facility, a hospital, and I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. When we knew that, let's say, certain inspectors were going to be there, man, the hospital got cleaned up bigly. But as soon as the inspectors left, then everything went back to normal. I'm not saying that things were really crappy, but there were certain minute details that they don't want the inspectors to see. So for instance, if you have something, let's say, staying outside on the hallway for an extended amount of time, inspectors don't want to see that. They'll be like, hey, you got to make sure the hallways are always clear because, let's say, a fire code or that sort of thing. So
yeah, there were a lot of things that were just like, okay, we got to hide it here, we got to hide it there, put it away. And it's as soon as inspectors leave, okay, business back as usual. And I'm sure that same thing happens in factories. So don't think that just because a company passes inspection, if it's not a random inspection, I don't think it holds very much weight. The inspections that were done in the hospital that I used to work at were not random. They were predetermined. Everybody knew when those inspections were happening, and everybody was on guard. And people were just like, oh, we got to make sure that there's absolutely nothing in the hallways, so they do not fail inspection, and they always pass with flying colors. Yeah. So, yeah, child labor laws, yeah, family farms, yeah. I think that's, yeah, family farms, you had a lot of kids working on there, collecting the eggs, doing small amount of things. It's not like brutal labor conditions at all. But it's just like an extra hand on deck. Even back in the day, right? Back in the day, people used to have lots of kids. And when people used to have a lot of kids, right? Why would they have a lot of kids? Because they would be working the farms and they need more hands on deck. So and they figure like, hey, if we have a family farm and we have lots of kids, a lot of kids helping around, then the family makes more money. But those kids are not getting paid minimum wage, right? You're not going to pay like a 6-year-old to collect eggs like $15 an hour. What is the minimum wage in the United States right now? Let's check. Minimum wage in United States. Yeah, actually, let me ask this guy. Hey, what's the minimum wage in the United States?
No idea.
No idea.
I know what it is in New York. I don't have a business in any
Okay, well,
States.
what is the minimum wage in New York? My bad.
$15.
$15. Okay, so minimum wage in New York is $15, which I think is a little high. I don't think everybody in the bodega is getting paid $15.
Man, Eric is gonna get fucked up.
Why?
They're gonna start throwing tomatoes in.
No, I mean, I think it's a little high because I mean, like, I hear about other people getting. I don't think other people in New York are getting paid $15.
Low minimum wage, just pay off the books.
Okay, off the books. That's what it is. Okay, because it's like you hear about some people and yeah, you just think like, really? I don't think based on their job they're getting paid $15 an hour. So it kind of surprises me. I mean, like, if you get a on the books $15, that makes sense. But off, I don't think. Like I said, I don't think everybody in New York is getting paid 15 on the books, for sure. Okay, $7.25 federally. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then, yeah, talking about minimum wage, right? This is getting way off track from my original stream, but hey, this is my freaking live stream, and this is the way it always goes. I don't think the answer to everything is just raising the minimum wage, and I'll tell you why. Because if you raise the minimum wage, then all the freaking costs go up too, right? And the stuff in the grocery stores gets more expensive. I remember when I used to be buying like a lot of snacks for 99 cents back in the day, and you get candy bars for like 2 for $1, and now it's like, oh my gosh, like freaking snacks, 99 cents a container snack, not too much anymore. And I think like things, maybe it's just me, like I feel like things used to be cheaper back around like Clinton days. Maybe it's just me. And like you got more bang for your buck, but now it's like a lot of people, you either have two ways. You either get into debt, or alternatively, you're really frugal, right? So when I was in Hawaii, I grew up around a lot of frugal individuals. Not as frugal as me for certain things. Like I haven't gone dumpster diving in a real long time, but a lot of people, it's like they would really stretch their dollars, stretch their pennies, and it was kind of like a way of life. But now it's like you see these, I want to say, older individuals, like 40, 50, 60s, very frugal people, and then you got these younger people who they enter the workforce, and the first thing that they want is they want to make more money so they can spend more money on buying stuff they don't need. And it's so like weird to me. It's like, wow, it's before, it's like, so yeah, the clothes in stores are so freaking expensive too. Yeah, so if the minimum wage, right, the way it works is that if you raise the minimum wage, the cost of items have to get more expensive. It's not like all these small businesses are making millions upon millions of dollars and the owner is like a multi-millionaire. That's not it. People have this perception, but the cost for, let's say, real estate for rent is expensive. Then you got to also pay your workers as well. Then you got also materials. Then you also have, let's say, things that could expire, or like if you work in a restaurant, for instance, right? You'll have spoilage, or a grocery store, you got spoilage. You also have possible theft as well. And then you got to deal with like workman's comp, certain things like insurance, like I don't know if you pay for inspections, but gasoline, not gas, electricity, heat, all that stuff really freaking adds up. And people would see the volume, right? But businesses are not all small businesses are super profitable. I heard a lot of restaurants, I think it was something like 50 or 75% of restaurants fail within the first 5 years. They you have all these eateries popping up in New York, but they don't last very long, and it saddens me. It really saddens me to see a place shut down. And when they shut down, it's not just like the business failed, but all those people who work there no longer have a job. And sometimes businesses shut down because the rent is too damn high. The rent is too damn high, and they crunch the numbers and they say like, hey, this isn't sustainable. A lot of businesses, for instance, and this is going off track, a lot of businesses close down because of the situation. And it saddens me. It saddens me that businesses couldn't survive. But the other thing too is that it's conditioned people to try to save their money. And people had to go without a lot of things, and then they realized, hey, you know what? I can actually cut my hair at home. You know what? I don't need to actually go to the gym. I do this workout, or I go on YouTube and do home workouts, or I have my own gym. And you save so much money, but then it impacts the bottom line of like the gym or the nail salon when they reopen, for sure. So Emily says that she's against minimum wage because it stops small businesses from existing. A small mom and pop store can't compete with the Target or Walmart. I'm not against minimum wage for that. What I think is like Target and Walmart, they have volume, right? A mom and pop business cannot compare to that. Like if you buy, let's say you want to buy, for instance, cans of tuna. A mom and pop store maybe buys like 100 cans a week. Target and Walmart can buy thousands, tens of thousands of cans of tuna, so therefore they get a cheaper rate. And then if they get a cheaper rate, they can say, okay, instead of let's add the manufacturer retail price of $1, we can charge 95 cents for it. So people, right, they'll say like, oh yeah, I can save 5 cents if or 10 cents, right? Maybe 90 cents instead of $1. I can save 10 cents if I shop at Target at Walmart versus mom and pop store down the street. So it's really a combination of things. And they have more diverse selection. For instance, right, there are bodegas around where we live. And the workers there, I can almost guarantee you, I don't want to say can guarantee you, but a lot of them are getting paid under minimum wage. They're probably getting paid under the books. I see these places, they don't make that much sales. They're not as cheap as, let's say, other stores. You got some concerns about freshness as well. Like if you pick up a bag of, let's say you pick up some canned good at the store, do you think that the store is selling canned goods nearly as fast as, let's say, a Target or a Walmart? No. You have this perception that if you find an apple at a mom and pop store, it's probably less fresh than a Target or Walmart, right? Because of volume, turnover. So it's mom and pop stores, the problem with that is like when you have these like mega stores, which is like all in one store, it dissuades people from even spending time on a mom and pop store. The mom and pop store is going to be more expensive, less selection, like I said, and then you have the concern about freshness. So minimum wage is not the issue in my opinion. I think it's just scale. Scale is the issue. Size. Like I could buy hand soap down the bodega if I wanted to, or I can go to Walmart or I can go to Amazon. It'll be cheaper and I'll get way more of a selection if I buy it online. Yep. So Lewis is saying it doesn't change the reality of what customers are willing to pay for whatever you do in the business expense. Yeah. Um, that's the other thing that people don't understand or people don't really see, right? You might have a business that is big or booming, like a Walmart or a Target, but if, for instance, you've seen those like huge restaurants, you know, those big square footage restaurants, and you might think like, oh wow, look, they have such a big menu and they have a lot of staff. You have to have customers in there regularly to support that. If customers are not going in there like all you can eat buffet, and they're not, you're wasting a lot of food. You're throwing away money because of the food getting wasted. Plus, you're paying all the staff, and the amount of money that you bring in per hour needs to cover your staff and your rent and your expenses. Restaurant industry is tough. A small business can handle the expense of minimum wage if there's enough demand for their products. So, for instance, remember when they had the big boba milk tea boom? Remember that? I mean, I don't know how popular it is now. It's hard for me to say. But I remember, like, in Hawaii, when milk tea was, like, the big rage, like, you used to have people out the line of the door going for these, like, $4 boba milk teas. And now, not so much because of, the situation. But if you have a booming business, then you can definitely support minimum wage for your employees. But it's all about making sure that you have a lot of demand. If you don't have demand for your product, then it's not going to be profitable, and you're going to end up losing money. There's so many. What was it called? There was a Gordon Ramsay show called something like Restaurant Night, not Kitchen Nightmares, not that. Do you remember what I'm talking about? There was a Gordon Ramsay. Let me check this. Gordon Ramsay restaurant makeover. Like Amy's Kitchen, Amy's Baking Company. Kitchen Nightmares. Yeah, was it Kitchen Nightmares? Yeah, I think it was Kitchen Nightmares. Yeah, that one. So all those businesses were struggling, and it's because people didn't like their food. People they didn't like their food. And if people don't like the food, then they don't go over there. And then they waste so much money because they have to have all the food supplied. And then rent, employee pay as well. Kitchen Nightmares, yeah. I think banks have to choose, right? What do they invest in? And going with, let's say, Target or Walmart would be a safer investment, but that doesn't mean that banks don't invest in new businesses. I've seen like a whole bunch of freaking new restaurants popping up left and right, and seems like they're gonna open relatively soon, assuming that Eugene isn't screwing them over or something like that. So Kopaz is asking if someone got the second one. Yes, Lewis got the second one recently, and he is not feeling too good. Yeah, they definitely do, but they have to like make sure that it sounds like, hey, this is actually gonna bring in money. For sure, because like I could go to a bank and say, hey, you know what? I want to have a business. Okay, what's your business plan? I want to sell Ziploc bags. What? Yeah, I'm gonna sell Ziploc bags, and I wanna have a big storefront. And they'll be like, what? So you just want to sell Ziploc? Yeah, that's it. And I'm probably gonna get turned down. They're gonna say that's a freaking ridiculous idea over here, right? So it's like they're not just tossing money to everybody, but they hear about it. They're like, okay, you know what? That sounds like pretty good. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay, as much as a character as he seems like on TV, I think he has, some good business acumen. At least when it comes to like Kitchen Nightmares, what he says makes sense. I think that, I've watched a few of those shows and I think like, wow, he's a sharpshooter. The personality that he has on those shows seem different than his personality, let's say off camera or with his family, for sure. I think that when you have a show like Kitchen Nightmares or when you have like Hell's Kitchen, people tune in because they like seeing him scream at people or be like, you donkey and that kind of stuff. Like, people like that rage, but it's I don't think he got to where he was by screaming and insulting people, for sure. And I hope people don't have this idea that in order to be successful in life you need to insult people or you need to be a cocky asshole, because I don't think Gordon Ramsay is truly like that. I think that that's the kind of thing that gets people watching, but in terms of how he conducts himself, I don't see him being that kind of person. Like, he started from the bottom and he was just a jerk to everybody. But even when he is kind of like a jerk, there's a reason for him to be like that. I would not recommend anybody kind of be like Gordon Ramsay in terms of throwing the insults, but some of the stuff that I've seen in his shows, I think, oh, that's actually smart. That's really good. Yeah, Amy's baking company. Yes. Oh my God, Amy's baking company was ridiculous. Did that place go under? Amy's. Yeah, are they still up? I mean, she was crazy. Let's see. Amy's baking company. Did it close? Oh, it closed in 2015. Oh. I remember she was like talking or singing to her cats. Yeah, an idiot. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, even when I do my streams, I know that the way I come off is just very, how would I say? I don't have like that charisma. I don't have that personality where I'm like yelling all the time or anything like that. So my streams kind of be like, oh, just all over the freaking place. But you know what? I don't really care. Yeah, I've seen interviews where he interacts with his wife, and he seems very loving. Now, I don't know, I think he has like 5 kids with his wife. He seems like he has a good relationship with his kids. He seems very supportive of them, and he seems like a happy, hardworking guy. I've seen interactions, at least interviews with him and his kids. They don't seem like they seem very mild mannered. They seem like they got a good head on their shoulders. But yeah, people looking at, let's say, Kitchen Nightmares or Gordon Ramsay, they might have this perceived idea about like that's how you have to act to be successful, and that's not true. That's not true. Yeah. I also blame media because it's like when you see certain things, certain TV shows where you have a lot of drama or you have a lot of like screaming at each other, people have this idea like, okay, I need to be like that. If I want to be strong, I gotta insult other people. But yeah, that's a total false thing. For instance, right? How I was just talking to, we were just talking to Wes, and anonymous individual, and Emily was giving advice. Like, I mean, like, it would be great for TV ratings if Wes engaged in a verbal argument with that coworker, and they just started throwing insults and punches at each other, right? But is that really good strategically in a workplace environment? No, because unlike a TV show where people get paid, if you start doing certain things to a person, you could get arrested, you could end up getting fired, you could end up with some serious repercussions. Not good. Yeah, so I rarely watch TV. If I do watch things, it's mostly like Netflix documentaries. Right now I've been kind of interested in watching about serial killers. Serial killers, murderers. I take an interest in some sort of that stuff. I like hearing about like what caused a person to break. I like hearing about a person's psyche. And I also wonder sometimes, like, how could it have been avoided? I've shared with you guys, like, I have a sincere interest in the Chris Watts case. Chris Watts, Cheyenne Watts, Cece, and what was the other kid's name? I remember it was Baby Nico. Oh my gosh, people are gonna give me crap about this because I can't remember all the kids' names, but something like that. Like, he had everything going on for him, and I don't know what happened, but it's like he just thought he could kill his wife and his unborn kid, and he would get away with it. Like, maybe he watched too much TV shows. It was like, oh, I hope, Cheyenne, wherever you are, I hope you come back home soon. Like, I can't wait to see you and the kids. It's like and then he freaking dumped. He killed his wife. He put her in a shallow grave, and then he put the kids in the oil tank that he was working in. It's like, oh, where the frick is the... did you really think you could just cry on TV and everybody would believe you? Like, no. And then I've also been looking back at, like, the Jodi Arias case as well. I was looking at her interview that she had, and man, that is really a piece of work. Like, I wish she could have just walked away from Travis. I don't want to spoil it in case you guys haven't followed the Jodi Arias case, but such, like, besides her coming off as, like, obsessed, such a beautiful woman. Great features. Let me show you her. Great features. But for whatever reason, she decided, instead of walking away from Travis, she decided to murder him. Why is that? Who knows? So all these kind of people, it's like, I don't know where they get this idea that they would not be caught. Maybe it's from media. Maybe it's from TV shows. Maybe they think if they just, like, sweet talk their way out of there, and they do this public interview and be like, oh, I feel so sad that this person is gone. I hope they're found. Like, do they think detectives won't catch them? Who knows? This kind of stuff. But I like watching this kind of stuff. I like hearing about people, how they think. I like hearing why they possibly did it. From the Jodi Arias case, as far as I know, we don't exactly know why she did it. Or at least I never caught it. Casey Anthony is another one that I really liked following. I feel bad because it's like, Casey Anthony is free, and personally, I think she did it. But like O.J. Simpson, I personally think he did it. But these people are walking free. You can't charge them because of, if I remember correctly, double jeopardy. Huh? Yeah, there's a thing on Amazon Prime called OJ Made in America that I wanted to watch, but freaking $4.99 an episode on Amazon Prime. I'm like, frick, I don't want to pay $20 for that. I wouldn't have. Jodi was, but she was. But see, like, a woman like this, like, if she could have just walked away from Travis, she could have, she could have found a guy who actually wanted her, not like end up with freaking life imprisonment kind of thing. So it's like, I'm sure, she's so pretty, she's so pretty. She could have easily got another guy, but she didn't want to move on from Travis. And allegedly she flew into a rage because Travis said he wanted to move on with, like, another woman, and she did not want to deal with that, so she decided to just, like, ambush him in the shower. And it's like, ugh. So she was taking pictures of him, and then I guess the camera dropped, and then it accidentally shot a picture of her foot along with Travis's bloody body. And for someone who seems like they were smart, what she decided to do? She got the camera. Instead of, like, taking the camera with her, she decided to throw it inside of the washing machine, if I remember correctly. And it got water damaged, right? But forensics came in, and they were able to retrieve the deleted images. So it's like, well, why didn't you take the camera with you? There are so many people. It's like, when you hear about these cases, you're like, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that instead? You know, why didn't you wear gloves? Why, you know, it's like, and then she left this stupid voicemail where she was just like, she was like giving way too much information. It was like, oh yeah, well, yeah, you know, I'm like 100 miles away right now. I guess you're not there right now. And yeah, so I wanted to know if you wanted to go to this like event in 1 month from now. It's like, what? Who the hell leaves a voicemail like that? Like, it's like you're trying to cover your track, but like everybody who leaves a voicemail, it's very short. It's like, oh hey, I guess I didn't catch you. Okay, bye. Or give me a call back. Bye. It's not like, oh yeah, yeah, I just wanted to tell you I'm so far away, and yeah, so and so has an event happening. Yeah, no, no. Trying to be smart, but not really smart. Yeah, I don't know about who is Foxy Noxy. I don't know who that is. I don't know that. I only keep track of like a few cases. Foxy. Okay, let me check this. Foxy Noxy. Oh, I don't know much about that case. I really can't answer that one. I don't really know much about that one. There's so many of these people going on. It's just like but I might look into that in a bit. But yeah, Jodi Arias is the one that I've been revisiting lately. But such a beautiful woman. Such a beautiful woman. I don't know why she. I tried to figure it out. I was like, why were you so fixated on this guy? Why? Now she's behind bars, and maybe it's a good thing. Some people would say it's a good thing. But she really could have just. All she had to do was just like walk away from this guy, right? And like even if we look at the way that, let's say we look at like I shouldn't say this, but like SMV, which is like sexual market value, like she is way more attractive than Travis, for sure. So why couldn't she just walk away from this guy? She was just obsessed with him. That's what I know. But I can't figure it out. Hey.
Hi.
Hey. What?
Go back into your perch position.
Why?
I want to see what you. Hey, that makes sense.
What?
Yeah, you had your cheek at the microphone before.
What? I did not have my cheek in the microphone.
Oh,
What?
talking to that.
What? Do I sound better? What? Why did you take away my fuzzy stuff? The phone. Why'd you take away the phone? Sorry, you guys. By the way, is this how do you a quick question, because I don't know any better. How do you figure out what a good microphone is? Like, there's so many freaking microphones out there. Like, how do you know which one's good?
It's hard. Which one is good for different things? So there's one microphone. So there are many different microphones. You may want to use different microphones and different singers. A microphone that's really good for vocals, like let's say a Neumann U87, may be a horrible microphone to use for a snare drum. A microphone that's really good for a bass drum, like an AKG D112, or like an RE20, may be horrible for a string section. So it's different microphones are useful for different things, and the way you figure it out, that's literally a lifelong journey, and that's the job called being an audio engineer. But what would you want the microphone to be for?
Oh, nothing. I was just wanted to know how you figured out to get this one, because I mean, there's so many microphones. Like if you go on Amazon, you got like tons of microphones.
I like the AKG 414. It's a really good general purpose microphone, and it's also,
I've heard about that.
It's like
floating
about
around.
$1,500 microphone.
$1,500.
The Audio Technica 4050 sounds almost identical to the AKG 414, and this microphone is a cheaper version of the Audio Technica 4050. So for like $200 or $300 used, you get something that sounds like a 1500.
Okay, so Andrea has an Audio Technica AT2005 XLR.
I don't know.
With that?
I don't know which one that is. But Audio Technica makes a lot of good stuff. This is the Audio Technica 5400 for anybody wondering.
Okay.
The only thing is that it's
that sounds like Greek to me.
Top heavy.
Top heavy? That's why you have a microphone stand. Let's see over here. Let's check out Andrea's microphone.
It's weird for me to figure out where this microphone should be placed.
Ooh. See, that's what I have right now. I have this little mic stand over here. See this?
Yeah, I was going to get you a microphone like maybe the 2020, but I don't know if the stand is tall enough.
Oh, this one's fine.
I mean, look up Audio Technica 2020 USB. That's what I was going to get you.
Stupid question. Did that come out last year?
No, it's old.
Oh, what?
Not XLR though. USB.
Oh, okay.
I get you USB version. You get a little. See, it would be like mine, except
Oh,
you're talking
cool.
to the side of it, not the top of it.
Why? What's the difference of talking to the side versus the top?
You can change the settings so that it captures everything around you or just what's in front of you, and it's tiny. See how mine?
I don't want to
talk
catch my
on the
MacBook
side of
fan though.
it? This is a side address microphone, so you would talk into. See, that's what it would look like.
Okay, so this is how it looked
But
like.
it's not very tall. That's my main concern. Or I would have to get you a lower perch, or you'd have to put the mic stand on top of a book or something.
Yeah, just put it on top of a book. I'll just put it on top of a box.
Box.
Yeah, put it on top of a box, or put it on some type of like platform, like a
Box.
brick. Extremely.
Do people like the way Erica sounds today?
Yeah, people said it was great, so thank you so much for helping me with it.
Erica can hear herself.
I know, I can hear myself. And that's, that's a good thing because I have to be consciously aware of me saying and that kind of thing. So I think it kind of keeps me in check. Since
if you stop talking into the microphone, you'll be able to hear it.
Huh? Say that again? If I stop talking to the microphone, I can hear it?
No, you'll be able to tell because you can hear what they hear with the headphones on.
Oh yeah, I can definitely hear what they're hearing. Yeah, so it makes me a little bit more consciously aware of the stuff that I'm saying, and I want to be a better speaker. I did some video editing, and I got so agitated at my and kind of thing. Oh gosh. What microphone am I using right now?
Audio Technica 5400.
Okay, Audio Technica 5400. I'm so sorry for not typing that out to you guys. I'm like not good with numbers. Lewis is really good with remembering numbers. I'm not one of those people. So I have this little mic stand over here. It's let's see, mic stand. Is this the original mic stand or is this like a aftermarket? Okay, it's a cheap piece.
That's literally the cheapest piece of shit that I could find on eBay, stored by lowest price when I got.
Oh, micros. Okay. Yeah, some Microsoft stand. See, this is what happens. Okay, see, so I got this like little. It's just like a little kind of like this. See this one over here, kind of like this. So that's how my setup is right now, and it's just on the countertop. So that's how I'm speaking. So my stream is slowly getting better and better and better, and yeah. Let's see over here. So what is this framed thing that I'm reading about? We really should talk. I really should stream and talk. Let's talk about like freaking serial killers. That would be good. Oh god, I know YouTube is not gonna like that stream. They're like, what? This is not advertiser friendly. I'm like, oh whatever. I can lose my 25 cents monetization. Let's see here. Okay, so Marco says, please tell Louis Rossman we need help in India. We will pay his flight after situation is over so he can come to India. Huh?
Wait, Erica, I'll be right there. Erica?
Yeah?
Erica?
Yeah, what?
Just hold on.
Hold on. Okay. So, I think the Louis Rossman is appearing soon.
Alright.
Okay. He's appearing. What? What? Oh, jeez. Okay, so the message got deleted. Huh?
They're spammers.
Okay, so this is what you know what? I'm gonna say this, like, Marco. You know what? I'm going to hold up. Marco, I'm gonna unhide you for one purpose. One purpose only, okay? This is the reason why I'm gonna so let's can we unhide that message? Oh, I can't unhide that message. So I've gotten a few I've got a few messages from individuals who say that kind of thing. They want either me to go over there or they want Louis to go over there. And I truly want to know, do you not have faith in the people in India to help you with right to repair? Do you seriously need a person in the US to help you with that? Because I'm sure you have a lot of capable people in India. You do not need to pay someone in the United States to help with right to repair. You yourselves can do it yourself. Sons of Kings? No, I do not. No, but I seriously want to know. Like, I hear about these messages, and I want to know, like, the logic behind it. I seriously want to know the logic behind it. Because that implies that people in India cannot fight for the right to repair themselves, and I refuse to believe that. There are so many smart individuals in India. But no, I do not reply to the Sons of Kings. Because there's just so much money getting thrown at me. $5 million. Hello, I am a prince and I have $5 million and I want to did it in, but I must get payment of at least $2,000. I'm like, no, look, no, I don't need that kind of stuff. But no, I don't reply to those emails. I would highly recommend don't reply to those emails too. They're just bored. I don't understand why people even do that. Like, okay, let's say Lewis replies to it and he's like, okay, yeah, sure, pay for my flight. Then what? And then what are they going to say? Okay, well, we want payment of $200 first before we pay for your flight. I'm just curious because usually with those spammer people, you can see the end game of it, right? They want money. But for these people, you go in a live chat and they say, we want help for right to repair. We'll pay your flight. There has to be some sort of catch. Really? It's a total scam. We need no. I don't think I think India can find people in India. People in India has an individual who's very motivated and driven. You just need to find them. Anybody can do it. Anybody can go out and support the right to repair. Doesn't have to just be Lewis. What? No, I'm just being honest here.
You're being a grandma. Is there any reason that you're being a grandma?
I'm being a grandma because it's like I want to understand it. No, what I'm saying is that these people, right? Usually when you think about scammers, they want to exchange money, right? But I'm not seeing that. It's not like, oh, okay, I have it's just like, what, do you want someone to pay partially for the airplane flight and then you want to submit payment and then it's like, okay, I'll pay for your ticket, but you need to wire me $100. You see where I'm getting at? But of course he's not going to do it. He's not going to get on a plane to go to a foreign country, especially right now. But if you need help with anything, you have a lot of footage of Lewis supporting right to repair, and it's not just in the United States. I think right to repair extends outside of the United States. Everybody should have access to, in my opinion, schematics, and they should be able to have access to parts if their item breaks. Exactly. Andre says, surely they can find someone in their country who supports right to repair. Or, better yet, the people who have said these things, right? The people who have said, like Markle, right? Markle says, we want Lewis to come over here. Markle, why don't you take the initiative and be basically the, quote, Lewis Rossman of India, right? Why don't you step up to the plate and say, you know what? Lewis isn't here, but I want to be a champion of it. And not just me, but I want to corral people in India to support the right to repair. And plus, I think it's flawed if you see as like Lewis as like the face of right to repair. I think that people need to see themselves as being the face of right to repair, right? Everybody has a voice. Everybody has the ability to make their voice heard and known and put their face out there, or say, sign a petition. But let's think about this strategically, right? Lewis goes out there. Let's just say hypothetical, right? Lewis goes out there. He goes to India and he says support the right to repair. That's not going to help much at all. It comes down to the people. The people are the ones who hold the power. The people are the ones who can push for this change. Not a guy from the United States who gets off an airplane and makes a speech in India. See? No, Sabine, you know what? Sabine says, no, Lewis Rossman needs to come to India. We sent his business email already, but he does not respond. Why does he need to come?
Send me email. You just spam the fucking YouTube channel.
Okay. No, but
now there's more of them.
Yeah, so Sabine, you know what? instead of asking Lewis to come over to India, why don't you try and become, quote, the Lewis Rossman of India? Why don't you? Do you not have faith in your own abilities? Because I have faith that you can do it. You just,
No faith in spammers.
huh?
No faith in those spammers.
No, but it's a really good talking point. And I think instead of just deleting it, we should actually discuss it, because sometimes like people say like, oh, you know, I want right to repair to pass, but I don't want to do anything about it, right?
It's a bot.
Huh?
You're talking to a robot, Eric.
No. Well, I'm getting off to another thing, because like even with the ad that I made, right? It's like I want people to make their own ads. I want people to put this stuff on YouTube, because there are certain things that I see as maybe like a point that should be brought up in an ad, but then there's other people who could say, hey, you know what? I actually want this point being brought up in an ad too. But if I can make an ad on iMovie, certainly you guys, all of you guys listening to this stuff, right? Especially if you guys are more, I know there's a lot of people more familiar with technology than I am, especially video editing. I would encourage you guys to make your own right to repair ads as well. And I've said that in a community post, but I think it fell on deaf ears. But I don't want people to just be like, I want someone else to put out this message that I want to see. I want people to actually, oh goodness. You know what? Did you hear that meow? Because I heard that meow very loudly. It's a very overweight tubby cat. Huh? No, I heard him. I heard that kind of thing. But I want people to take the initiative themselves. You know, I know this sounds so cliche, but I want you guys to be the change that you want to see in the world. If you guys think that there's something that's being missed or not pointed out in the right to repair argument, then make an ad on it, right? Let's start some Reddit threads about it. I tried my best with that thing, and I can't think of anything other. And I move as slow as a snail, but I tried. I tried with that right to repair, and I figure, well, it's less than a minute long, so maybe someone will like it, maybe someone will share it. And Oreo, you are ruining my stream right now. You hear that? Someone's gonna listen to this and be like, why is she feeding her cat?
It's not nice that you don't feed Oreo.
Oh, whatever. Yes, exactly. Be the change that you want to see in the world. See? Exactly. There we go. Andre, you know what, Andre, you know what? That is a very excellent point over here. See, listen to Andre over here. Andre, you have the power within yourself. So I really hope. Crap. Can you guys hear me? No. Can you guys hear me?
I think that's Oreo's way of saying it's time to feed Oreo.
What? No. Let's see. Crap. One moment. Shit. Okay, good. So what I was saying, and I hope I don't repeat myself a third time over here, but I'm breaking it. What I was saying is, Andre brought up a really good point. Just create your own right to repair movement then, Indian people. No need for Lewis, Linus J's, and Marcus. You have the power within yourself. You do not need these influencers on YouTube to be the face of your movement. I really think it's more impactful for Indian citizens to be their own face. You see? So it's flawed to think that in order to advance a movement you need a Lewis or you need someone else, right? Why don't you just do it yourself? You don't need someone with clout to be there. You need to have people come together and be their own face of the movement. The power lies within yourself, and instead of expending all this energy asking, I'm sure you guys are asking Linus and Jay and everybody else, maybe hitting up Eli too. Don't forget Eli, the computer guy. Okay, don't forget him. Spend that energy and say, how can we make our message more effective? How can we reach out to people? Instead of putting that, I feel like that burden or that responsibility on these YouTube content creators. See where I'm getting at?
Oreo, how do we they feed you?
I already fed him.
Oreo sounds hungry.
He is not hungry.
Oreo, you want breakfast, boy?
I already fed him. I just fed him like a couple hours ago.
Oreo, we need breakfast.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. One moment, you guys.
Oreo, where's the breakfast?
Temporary break. Huh? I know. I didn't make breakfast. I was doing my stream. Whoops. Okay, you guys are gonna hear me make some eggs.
We're gonna ban Erica. That's what we're gonna
How are you gonna ban me? I'm gonna ban you before you ban
We
me.
can ban you from here, Erica.
How can you ban me from here?
They're changing the Wi-Fi password while you're streaming.
Oh, screw you. Screw you. Okay, so I have not seen. While I wait for my eggs, I have not seen a clear assertion from any of these people about why they can't do it themselves. I would like to hear them out because here's, like I said, I understand what's being said, but I want to know reasoning. Why do we have about 5 people in this stream who are insistent that they need Lewis to be the face of Right to Repair, when I have clearly, and not just me, Andrea has said things too, said that you don't need Lewis to do this. You can do it yourself. People are going to hear this and they might have this thinking like, oh, well, Erica, why are you not acknowledging these people? What if they actually do need help in India? And I have clearly said, right? Okay, I hear what you're saying. Answer me this. Again, why do you need a YouTube content creator? I'm sure he does. He has over 1 million subscribers. I'm like a tiny little channel that hasn't even made it to 5,000 yet. Okay. So here's my thinking, okay? So I read what Fortnite Gamer said. It says that message got deleted, but I will reply to it anyway. It says, we need Lewis here because he can move people. He has a following in India. Yes. No, they said that you have a following in India, okay? So I'm not going to deny that you have a following in India. You have over 1.58, I think. 1.58 million subscribers. At least 10 of them have to be in India. At least 10. I know that. So even if, when he has said these messages about Right to Repair, he's advocated for Right to Repair, he does not limit it just to the United States. And you can correct me if I'm wrong over here, but Right to Repair should be for everybody, not just for U.S. citizens. So, as a result of that, you can hear Lewis's messages, you can share his videos, you can link to his videos, but in terms of being a face, your face does not have to be Lewis. It can be someone locally. It can be another prominent. There has to be at least one. I know for a fact there's at least one tech YouTuber who's in India who is prominent and they have a following. So you cannot tell me there are no tech YouTubers in India. I know there has to be some tech, not even a YouTuber, but some sort of tech influencer in India. There are a lot of smart people in India. You do not need Louis Rothman to come over there to advance your movement. A message does not have to only be limited by a country's borders either. So it's not like, oh, okay, well, he says this stuff and he's in America, so therefore he needs to be in India for this to be successful. No. I making 5 eggs in case you guys are curious. 5? Yeah, you always eat 5. What? What? What's that hissing noise for? No, you've always had 5. Every day I give you 5. 5 eggs is a lot. 5 eggs.
Seem like smaller than usual.
Huh? Well, don't blame me. Blame the chickens.
I make 6 for myself.
You make 6. I used to only give you 3. Then you got to 5, and now you're telling me you want 6. That ain't Oreo. That's the world's biggest cat over here. It's a Lewis. What? Okay. Let me just quick season these. I know, you guys. I'm such a procrastinator. I should have made these actually like 2 hours ago. It doesn't take me 1 hour to cook eggs. I know. I can actually stream and cook at the same time. But the only problem is I can't really read chat, especially with that microphone so far away from me right now. Okay, so let this sit for about 4 minutes. Huh? I don't want to do a cooking channel. Cooking with Coco? What? People are gonna be like, why don't you cook more foods? And I'm like, I have a limited food. Okay, let's see over here. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Andre says India has a lot of great local influencers already. No need for Lewis. I agree. See, Andre, you gotta listen to Andre over here. Okay, so Joe Rapper says, why does Lewis not respond? I've already given you a response, Joe Raptor. You do not need Lewis. No, I like you. What? I've said it many times. Okay, but no, listen. Like again, next time I read this kind of message, we're just gonna say it. We're gonna say it over and over again because I do not want people who, let's say, go into the stream wonder why does Lewis not reply to these people who need their help. Again, fall back, right? You do not need Lewis to spread right to repair in India. You have so many local influencers, so many great, very intelligent, highly intelligent people who are probably better speakers than Lewis.
You're doing what the trolls want, Erica. Stop it.
No, I'm not.
Erica,
What?
I'm gonna change the Wi-Fi password. I swear.
No.
You're encouraging the trolls.
No, I'm bringing up a point.
They are trolls, Erica.
Okay.
Big giant trolls.
Oh goodness. Okay. So yeah. We don't want to start a whole thing, but that is my last statement about it until maybe my next stream. Oh. Just trust me, bro. Diamond sword. Yeah. How far am I from the kitchen and the computer? Not very much. Maybe like 5 feet. That's it. I mean, I stream mostly in the kitchen, so. And that's where I usually sit, and that's where I have all my stuff. I have a very easy access to the sink if I want to refill my water. So that is my preferred streaming area. Lewis's preferred streaming area, as you guys know, is in the living room. So it's probably a good. Hey, can you? Oh, actually, I gotta get the pills. Huh? Oh, handsome. I see a handsome over here. Very handsome. Do you really need more food? Oriole's acting like I haven't fed him all day. I know I fed him. I fed him when I woke up, and I woke up at 9 o'clock, so he does not need more food right now. He can wait a little longer. By the way, in case you guys never saw it, I highly suggest looking at the community post. Oh, actually, let me show you guys the community post over here. Cinevision community post. Let's see. Crap. Here we go. What's a Cinevision garbage? Okay, let's see. Oh my god, this is such an old one. Jeez, look at that. That's my old dumpster diving stuff. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Okay, so here's some Oreo sleeping videos in case you haven't seen it. Look at Oreo back in 2017. Look how skinny that cat was. Do you see how skinny he was? Look how tiny his little face was. And then this is Oreo. Let's see Oreo now. Where is he? Look at that. That's Oreo now, as you guys see how wide his face looks. This is a very well-fed cat. Look at that tummy. And then Oreo back in the day. Such a tiny little starving little thing. He's so cute. I can't believe how much this cat is fattened up. But he's more to love. What can I say? Okay, so let me read this over here. Yeah, you guys gotta drink. Come on now. You guys gotta drink water. Like, don't get dehydrated. You know, there's this one streamer, and I've shared her name on stream before. Her name's Eugenia Coney. She is, okay, I'm not gonna say much about her, but it's like she does these streams, and she doesn't drink any water. And I'm like, what the hell, man? How can you not drink any water? And I understand that she has some sort of eating issue. I'll leave it at that. But it's not healthy, you know? And it just mortifies me that she's able to do these streams and speak for 8 hours and not sip any water, because for me, you guys regularly hear me gulping down water. And I don't understand how her voice can just hold through 8 hours of just speaking. Yeah, stay hydrated, you guys. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, tea and coffee is dehydrating. Drink water. I just drank some water. Oreo eats a lot. Does that go back to his days of being homeless? I don't know. I think he just likes food. To be real with you guys, I think he just likes eating food. He is, but I know that sometimes if he's hungry, listen to this, if he's hungry and he smells something tasty inside of the garbage can, I'll actually catch him on his hind legs digging through the garbage can. Yeah, so he actually stands on his two back legs with his front paws digging through our trash can. And I'm like, Oreo, what are you doing over here? It's like he's trying to get, do you hear that? It's like he's trying to get like the all-you-can-eat buffet inside of our garbage can. So he has a lot of food. You know, he eats the most out of all three cats by far. And he's also the one who asks for the most amount of food. Like, he will be... Clinton is bigger than Oreo. You guys saw the size difference between Clinton and Oreo. Clinton eats less than Oreo. So why does Oreo eat so much? Why does he cry so much? I think he likes eating. But even when he eats, he doesn't eat that much food. Like, he'll cry, and then I'll see him eat 2 bites of food, and then he'll just walk away. And I'm like, Oreo, what is this? But yeah, he's giving me that